What's this number? 400,000 tokens, one big file going into an AI. One command later, 69,000. That's 83% gone. Same information, and the AI still reads all of it. This is a tool called Headroom. And in 5 months, you went from nothing to 47,000 stars on GitHub. The promise is that it shrinks all the data that you send to AI up to 90%, so that it's faster, cheaper, and never runs out of memory. So I tested it, and I'll be straight with you. One part really blew me away. I watched it crunch a wall of data almost to nothing. But the thing that most people assume, that you just plug it in your Claude Code and it will cut your bill in half, that's not how it actually works. I'll show you both, the part that actually works and the part that no one is showing you. Let's go. So what is Headroom? Before we discuss what Headroom does, you need to understand how the tokens are used, what actually fills the AI memory. So it's not going to be your prompts that you send with your messages. The thing that ends up filling the AI memory, so the context, is going to be big files, JSON files, the code files. For example, API responses, your logs, search results, all these things are the things that are going to fill up your context window, slow everything down, and run up your bill. Headroom sits in the middle, right between your AI and your model. And all the data that you're going to send to your model, it gets compressed before sending. So your model still gets the information needed to respond, but it gets less tokens, making it cheaper. How exactly does it work? If we go to the official GitHub page and we scroll down to the part where it explains how it works, we can see that in the beginning, we have our agent. So we can have Claude Code, we can have our own codes, we have Codex, Cursor, anything here. So all these tools are going to interact with the model. So some LLM provider, we have Anthropic, OpenAI, etc. And the way that Headroom works is that it sits in the middle, as we can see here. It's going to look into everything that we're going to send to our LLM provider, and it's going to analyze it. So first, it's going to have the cache aligner and then the content router. This content router is going to look into the things that we're sending to the LLM and see what type of files are these. If it's a JSON, if it's a file, if it's a code related to some function, and depending on the type of context that we are sending to the LLM, is going to compress it differently. As we can see here, the content router is going to route it to different compressors. If it's a JSON, it's going to send them to the smart cruncher. If it's a AST, it's going to send them to the code compressor. If it's the text, it's going to send them to the compressed base. So depending on the type of content that we are going to send to the LLM, is going to compress it so that when we send it to the LLM, it's going to be smaller and cost us less tokens. You can understand how it works through this diagram, but I'm going to show you two demos. One via the code, so we're going to have our Python script and we're going to compress the things that we're going to send and we're going to evaluate how much it compressed, and then we're going to test it with Claude Code. There's a wrap already implemented in Headroom that we can use with Claude Code to interact with Anthropic's servers, but in the middle is going to put Headroom in order to compress everything. So first things first, we need an empty project. So I already have here Headroom test, so it's empty, there's nothing here, and we're going to initialize this project to install Headroom. So first thing we're going to do is that we're going to create a virtual environment to install our packages. So for this, you do the following, and then it's going to create in this virtual environment here. And in the beginning, it's going to be empty. Now we're going to activate it. And depending on your system, this command can change a bit. In my case, I'm using a Mac, so it's going to be the following: source vm bin activate. After running this command, you should see in the beginning of the terminal the name of your virtual environment. And as you can see here, VM, so it means it's activated. We're inside this virtual environment. Now we can go ahead and install the Headroom package, but before that, we can always make sure that we have our package manager up to date. So we have it updated. Normally this is not required, but it's always good to have this up to date. And we're gonna go ahead and install Headroom. And you can do pip install Headroom AI all. We're gonna do all for this demo. After the installation is complete, you can go ahead and validate it's installed. So you can do Headroom. You can just do help to see if it's installed. Okay, if you see something like this, so it recognized the command and it showed you the help command of it, it means it's installed and we can go ahead and start our demo. So I already prepared the demo and I'm going to show you exactly how it works. So we have a few examples. We have in terms of code, different types of code. So we have some React Store TypeScript, then we have some render pipeline in Python, and then we have in Golang some ring buffer. So different types of code. So we have different examples to see the types of compression it has. And we have similar to JSON. We have 3 types of JSON to validate if the compression is different and how much can we get. So we have some IoT telemetry, we have some server logs, and some streaming catalog. And if we go to take a look into our script, so we just have a demo that's going to run through these files. So first we have the JSON ones, and then we have the code ones. And inside, it basically just loads the file. If we go here, so it's going to load the file, so it's going to read it as a text. It builds the prompt to send the theoretical LLM, and it's going to compress it. And after this, we're going to print the results. So let's go ahead and run this. So Python, and we do test JSON and source code, so it's the name of the file. And we have our results. So we have first the JSON ones, and we can see that we actually got some good results, not exactly matching the ones that were advertised on the GitHub, except this one. Because if we go back to the page, we can see here on top, we see that's advertised 60 to 95%. And if we go back to our results, okay, we got one that's in this interval, so the 83% for the JSON, but we got two that were, okay, close to it, to the lower bounds, but they still were not on the interval. And then we have the source code that we can see that the results, it actually didn't compress anything. So it was actually 0% smaller. It was the same size. Let's try now with Claude Code. So for this, you have the following command: headroom wrap Claude, and this will open Claude Code with a proxy through headroom. So this initializes the Claude Code session, but everything you're going to send to Anthropic servers is going to be routed through the local proxies of headroom. And we also have access to this proxy in the port 8787 on the local host. This also gives us access to a dashboard of headroom that we can see everything that's being compressed and saved. So it's in the same port, so localhost 8787/dashboard. So in here, you're going to have in terms of what you saved, in terms of tokens, and in terms of money. You already see here, on my case, 26 cents, but this was because I was testing it in the past. So the first time you're going to run it, you're going to have 0 here. If we scroll down, we're going to see our agent usage, how it was before and after, savings over time, token usage. We also have our history of what we did. We see here this headroom test that I did yesterday. This is where the usage that you saw on the top from the beginning comes from. So let's go back to Claude Code and test it. And we're going to ask him the following: run exactly this and show the raw output. Do not pipe or filter. So we are asking him to not pipe or filter so that we make sure that this output comes through the context. Because if it's not in the context, there's nothing to compress because it's not actually being sent to the LLM, it's just locally. And then we ask it to summarize it. Let's go ahead and send this. So we got our results. Everything seems to be fine in terms of quality. And if we go now to the dashboard, we're going to see that we saved almost 5K tokens just on this part, so 14%, but we also got an overhead of almost half a second. If we compare these results to the 14% going back to the GitHub compared to the 60 to 95%, it's still a big shot. But there's some savings, and you got this for free running it locally. If we go down, we can take a look more in specific to this example. So there was almost 34K tokens in the beginning, and it was reduced to 29K tokens, so the 5K difference. Another thing to be aware is this part, prefix cache impact. So in here, you're gonna see, okay, it was saved like 15 cents. You see here the cache writes and so on, and you're gonna think that this is related to headroom, but don't get mistaken. This is not from headroom. This is already done automatically from Claude Code. So if you're not using headroom, you will still have this cache savings. So should you use headroom? If you're building your own stuff, agents, automations, scripts that load big amounts of data from API responses, or a lot of logs, and then you send this big amount of data into AI, then yes, absolutely. This is genuinely brilliant for that. I have a daily script that scores dozens of articles daily and feeds them into Claude Code, and it's perfectly for this. But if you want a magic button to make your Claude Code cheaper while you chat, you better temper your expectations. It's a few percent, it's lossy, and it's not what most people think it is. You have to know which kind you need. That's the whole game. And honestly, that's the real lesson here. And it's bigger than just this simple tool. The repo can have 47,000 stars and a big number in terms of token savings, and the only way for you to actually know is to run it yourself and test it. That's it. That's the real skill. You have to test it yourself and don't believe in these marketing numbers. If you build your own agents and your own automations, then this library is the real deal for that. I'll leave the link in the description. And if this is the kind of honest, no hype breakdown that you like, go ahead and subscribe, because that's the whole channel. Anyone can build with AI. I mean, anyone.